Hey, Ilizwi Moja Africa family. Welcome to episode 17 of our podcast. We are continuing our series on trailblazing youth doing wonderful things in Africa. So, to recap, we had a revolutionary discussion with Gen Z activists who voiced their concerns about the Kenyan government passing the finance bill. Their heroic efforts are a testament of how trailblazing youth are doing extraordinary things in Africa. So today we are shining a light on Breast Cancer Awareness Month or Pink Month. But before we dive in, we would appreciate it if you follow us on Twitter at Ilizwi Moja or on Facebook at Ilizwi Moja and check out our TikTok at Ilizwi Moja Africa. Do not forget to like our videos and subscribe to our YouTube channel. So I'm your host for today, Slindile Mthembu, an academic enthusiast, joined by my co-host, Heri Rianga, a youth mentor, author, and leadership coach at Shuja Rising Consulting from Kenya. We're also very excited to have our intern who recently joined us, Clifford Hafner. Clifford is our social media intern, an enthusiast for women and girls' rights. Her expertise and creative ideas will be instrumental for Ilizwi Moja Africa.
Our guest today is Diana Rajoro. Diana serves at the intersection of client service relations, communications, project management, and administrative operations to drive efficiency and bottom line performance, enhance corporate and stakeholder relations and engagement, support advocacy and delivery of multiple projects and strategic business goals. She currently serves as the regional representative for East and Southern Africa at Cigna, coordinating client relations in a cross-cultural context, bringing a client-centric approach to conversations and projects to creatively solve customer issues, coordinate employee relations, support CSR projects and programs, and empower staff through on-the-job training, coaching, and development. Diana has infused client relations expertise with account management skills to oversee and expand client accounts and create value by driving product and revenue growth. She has worked as a project translator on diverse projects in the nonprofit, public, and private sectors, translating project documents from English to French and from English to Swahili. Diana is a change agent who is passionate about community impact and change. She has served with various nonprofit organizations on awareness raising, advocacy, and psychosocial support in the areas of cancer awareness and support to parents of multiples. We are happy to have you join us in this crucial discussion.
Wonderful. Thank you, Diana. Thank you for joining us. Breast Cancer Awareness Month is an international health campaign that's held every October. The month aims to promote screening and prevention of the disease, which affects 2.3 million women worldwide, known best for its pink-themed color. The month features a number of campaigns and programs. So we understand that it is crucial for us to know the effects of breast cancer, and some of us may have some ideas about breast cancer. Bearing this in mind, let us understand or consider the questions that you as the audience might have concerning breast cancer. So I just want to pose a question to you, Diana. So besides looking for a lump in the breast, what other symptoms do we have to look for?
Okay, thank you so much for having me. I think this is such a great forum to discuss women issues. I think both Harry and yourself are doing very well. So I will say it in, I don't know if you're Mosa, I know Ngia Fila, is that thank you? Or how are you?
It's how are you? That's a really good one.
Yeah, Ngia
I
Fila.
mean, yeah.
And then
Oh no, it's basically in response to how are you? So when somebody says we are Pila, that's asking how are you? And then you respond as Pila, as in I am well.
That's good. Thank you so much, and Asante. Now, to get back to your question, beside looking for a lump in the breast, what other symptoms do we need to look out for? Change in the skin. So first, let me just mention that it is very important for every woman, as long as you have started your menses, to check your breasts regularly so that you will know the difference. Because if you don't do that regularly, you will not know what is normal and what is abnormal. So important to regularly check your breasts. So what are the symptoms you need to look out for? Other than the lump, there's the change in the skin. That means dimpling around your breast. So dimpling, you see the peel of an orange, it has the like dots around. So if you see that, then that's one of the symptoms. The other one is the change in size or the shape of one or both breasts. If you also notice nipple discharge, I know there's the normal discharge, but if you notice a discharge with blood, that is one of the other symptoms you need to look out for. The other symptom you need to be on the lookout for is the change or the look in terms of the nipple. If the nipple is inverted or retracted, or if you notice a rash like eczema on your breast or around the nipple, then that is also another symptom. The other one is pain in the breast. There is pain that comes and goes away. That would not be a symptom, but if you have constant pain on the breast, then that is one of the other symptoms. Over to you.
Nice, nice. Thank you. Thank you so much, Diana. And it's actually, I like that you mentioned quite a lot of symptoms that we look for, especially when you speak about the discharge, the nipples specifically, and the different varieties that we have to look at. Nice. Yeah.
Yeah. Very important to be on the lookout for this.
And I also wanted to ask about the age range. Like, what would be the best, I guess, age to consider screening?
Let's keep it at 12 because they're girls who start their menses at 12. So from 12, good to start with screening. And screening here is just like you'd go to the airport, they would screen you. And what are they doing? They're looking for something. So it's the same thing with breast cancer. So screening is basically looking for signs of the disease. And the aim is to find the cancer at an early age because we know early detection. I used to work in an organization, Kenya Breast Health Program, and we had a motto that early detection saves lives, saves breasts. So screening basically is to look or find cancer at an early stage, and the best age is from 12 or as soon as a girl starts her menses.
Oh, that's such a great, yeah, it's so great that you mentioned that as early as possible, considering that you find that a lot of people sometimes pick it up at an early age that is not necessarily when you are older. So that's a really good point.
Yeah, because the other thing that is in relation to menses is one of the risk factors would be the age when one starts their menses. So before the age of 12 and after 55. So just because of the risk factor and also having that one is a woman is important to just check your breast as regularly as you can. And that is every month, 1 week after your menses. Because during the menses, you notice that your breasts are either sore or swollen. So you wouldn't be in a position to really tell the difference. So important to start every month, and 1 week after your menses. And screening here doesn't have to be very extensive. There's what we call breast self-examination, which can be taught to anyone. It doesn't need any expertise, but to do it. But once you learn or once you are taught how to do it, then that is the first step of doing the screening, other than going to the hospital or carrying out a mammogram or having a clinical nurse trained in breast screening do it for you. So the first step, as early as possible, learn how to carry out the breast self-examination.
Nice, nice. And I actually wanted to pick up from your point where you mentioned that women should regularly screen. And I wanted to also ask about men. Should men consider screening for breast cancer? I know that there are instances, and it's very minor, but there are some instances where men could actually get breast cancer. I just want to know, is that something that should be important for men?
Of course,
Mm,
men also have breasts in as much as they're not visible as women's.
mm,
Men also have breasts and they also have milk ducts. So the percentage or the statistics that we have now is 0.5 to 1% of men also get breast cancer. So it's also important for them to be on the lookout for these symptoms. And for them would be easier to identify because their breasts are not enlarged.
mm. Very good
Yeah.
points. Yeah, that's such a good point. And considering the lump that you find in your breast, is that supposed to be a huge concern? Let's just say if somebody does find a lump, does that automatically insinuate that it's breast cancer?
That's a very good question. And it's a worry that I have also experienced in the past, having dealt with other groups when we are creating breast cancer advocacy. So if you find a lump in your breast, do not be alarmed because some are non-cancerous or what is called benign. And these can be things like, I'll give two examples, like my mastitis or fibroedema. Mastitis is basically clogged milk ducts and which swell and sometimes cause an infection. And then there's fibroedemas that mostly occur in girls between 20s and 30s, where the breast enlarges and after sometimes it shrinks. So having a lump does not mean that it is cancerous. Important that, yeah, you'd have to do several checks to ensure that it is cancerous. But no, having a lump does not really tell that it is cancerous. Yes.
Yeah, very good points. It's great for our listeners to hear that. Good. Oh yeah, I wanted to mention about family history as well, that it's often a concern that because let's just say perhaps a parent or a grandparent has had breast cancer, that plays such a huge role when it comes to screening.
Family history of breast cancer, it can be a concern because one of the risk factors I had earlier talked about risk factors like age. So other risk factors are getting older. Being a woman is also a risk factor. Obesity, there's smoking, excessive smoking, alcohol intake, and of course, family history. So it is an important part if especially you have a close relative like your mother or your sister, then it's important that you have your regular checks because it is a risk factor.
Yeah, that's such a good point that considering family history is very important. So what are the risk factors related to breast cancer?
There are very many risk factors related to breast cancer. So there is the increase in age. The more you grow old, there is obesity, meaning people have to regularly exercise. Smoking, excessive smoking, alcohol consumption, history, family history. So the other thing that I think I need to to reiterate or to mention is that over the years, breast cancers in women have not had a specific risk factor or identified in terms of has it been obesity or smoking, but the main thing that has come out is the age and the sex. So for you being a woman and your age, we said you have to start checking or doing your self-exam from the age of 12. So just being a woman and your age is also a risk factor. Good to point out that so that someone does not really delve or depend or just concentrate on keeping a healthy life or constant checkup, which is important, but they should also know that in case I get breast cancer, it is not only because I have been keeping healthy, but the age and sex matters. Yeah.
Yeah, that's such a good point, actually. Like as you say, like even though there are instances where you can prevent it, but we have to understand that, the risk factors being that your age and your gender plays such a predominant role when it comes to breast cancer. So that's a very good point, Diana, to raise. Yeah, and thank you so much, Diana. We have one last question. I just wanted to just end off this question by asking, how do we encourage specifically women to screen for breast cancer? How can we raise awareness in our community?
Good question, because it first starts with the knowledge, advocacy, knowing what is breast cancer, what do I need to look out for, so that once you are aware of this, then it will be easy to also just spread the word. So how do you encourage women? First, telling them what is breast cancer. How does it affect you? How does it affect the girls around you? And then how do you raise awareness? There's various forms of raising awareness. There's social media updates. What you are doing, this recording, is also important because it is one form of raising awareness. There's awareness talks that are carried out there, awareness trainings on how to do breast cancer awareness. There's walks that are carried out yearly or biannually based on the different countries, whereby when this is done, then it raises awareness that there is breast cancer and women need to be aware of. So how do you encourage women? Just like I said, talking about it, freely talking about it. I know breast has been a taboo. Speaking about breasts has been a taboo in different communities, but now we need to normalize talking about breast, because if you don't talk about it, then how will we know what to look out for, or how will we know if there's an issue? So normalize talking about breast. Talk to your sisters, talk to your nieces, talk to your older people, so that they can be comfortable in talking about breasts and also learning more about how to take care of themselves.
Wow, I really like that. Talking to people around you is super important. I really like that you ended like that, Diana, like just speaking to your sisters, and it's interesting how just speaking to even just one person can carry such a huge impact on other people's lives, because that person will speak to another person. And so that is how we can encourage and raise awareness. Yeah, I really like this.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much, Diana. Thank you for being with us. And as we close off, this was such an educational and important discussion. So let's spread awareness about the issues of breast cancer and ensure that we regularly check ourselves. We hope you, as the audience, enjoyed this discussion. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel as we click the notification bell so that you can stay on top of our new episodes once we release them. Be on the lookout for our next episode as we continue our discussion with trailblazing young leaders. Bye for now.